All right, guys, we're going to get started here shortly. Pretty good data released from the U.S. Census Bureau that I want to talk about. You would be utterly shocked. The youngest place in America. The youngest place in America. Where do you think that is? The youngest jurisdiction in America. What is the youngest jurisdiction in America from an age standpoint? You would be absolutely shocked. The youngest locality in the United States of America is in Virginia from a median age standpoint. Utterly shocked. We'll let you know which one it is. What's your guess, by the way? What do you think is the youngest jurisdiction, locality in the United States of America? It is right here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. This is by U.S. Census Bureau data. We'll talk about that today on the program. A lot we're going to cover. The Hanover News got a ton of feedback yesterday. We relayed to you guys that Hanover County is going to be the first public school system in Virginia to utilize gender-neutral bathrooms. And I have heard significant feedback from moms and dads about this after first relaying the news to you yesterday. I will pass some of that feedback along to you. Elementary school in Hanover, which is about, what was it, about 75 minutes from Charlottesville? Did we determine yesterday, Judah? Hanover County? Yeah, just over an hour from Charlottesville. We'll talk about that on the show. Give the show a like and a share anywhere you are watching. Hammer that like button. Share the show. Spread the gospel. Tell your friends about what we're doing here. We work hard for you, and the only thing we ask in return is you share the show, like the show, and interact with us from a topic standpoint, shaping the discussion. Judah Wickower is our enterprising director. We're going to have a great day today. You got the scene set up like we talked about yesterday where we can shift from one scene to the other? Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. All right, I'm ready to rock when you are. Give me 5 seconds so we can get cracking, J-Dubs. All right, I'm good to go when you are. Good Tuesday afternoon, guys. My name is Jerry Miller. Welcome to the I Love CVille show. Thank you kindly for joining us. It's a pleasure to connect with you guys through the I Love CVille network, where we have a Charlottesville, Central Virginia, Commonwealth, and worldwide audience at our disposal. The show live streams on every social media platform known to mankind. In fact, some platforms like Facebook and Twitter, we are live streaming to 15 Facebook pages and 15 Twitter accounts literally as we speak. A lot we're going to cover. So the youngest jurisdiction in all of the United States of America is a jurisdiction, a town here in Virginia. I was surprised by this data. Data from the U.S. Census Bureau. We will let you know what the youngest jurisdiction in all of our country is, one from the Commonwealth, here on the program. We'll also talk on today's show some incredibly positive news out of Giles County, Virginia. New River Community College is offering free tuition, a full tuition scholarship to folks who wanted to go to New River Community College, and all they have to do is 100 hours of community service prior to enrolling in the school. Virginia Western Community College in Roanoke requires just 4 hours of community service per semester. You do 4 hours of community service at Virginia Western Community College in Roanoke, 4 hours per semester. Your tuition to the community college is free. you're starting to see the democratization of community college educations. And remember, with Virginia, if you go to these community colleges for 2 years and you maintain a grade point average of 3.0 or better, you are guaranteed admission to a state school of your choice for the final 2 years of your college career. You go to Piedmont for your freshman and sophomore year. You take the entry-level courses that any college is going to require, community college or four-year university. You bang them out at Piedmont. It's affordable, much more affordable than 2 years at a four-year school. You get a 3.0 GPA or better, and you get to pick what public university you go to for the final 2 years of your collegiate career. Interestingly, community colleges are starting to realize that it's the wealthy that are going to college. So they're trying to combat this phenomenon with this community college, with this community service pursuit. 100 hours of community service gets you full scholarship to New River Community College. 4 hours of community service per semester get you a full scholarship to Virginia Western Community College in Roanoke. I love this. We'll take a deep dive on this today on the I Love Seville show. We thank Skooma Boutique Dispensary for being the presenting sponsor of today's show. The best dispensary in Charlottesville is Skooma Boutique Dispensary, with locations on the downtown mall and on Elliewood Avenue, with more locations on the near horizon. I'd like to lead the show with the discussion, and why don't we welcome Judah Wickower to the program, our enterprising director, the jack of all wit. I'd like to start by highlighting one of the partners of this show, Judah, the Clifton, and the restaurant at the Clifton that's absolutely open to the public. Cocktails, a copper bar, happy hour, a covered porch, a live music setting starting in about a month in September. Coda and Marie of Chamomile and Whiskey will be the kickoff to the fall music series at the Clifton. I mean, it's just a special place that we have started to enjoy ourselves.
Definitely. Yeah, the Clifton is amazing. I mean, walk around the grounds and check out the restaurant. It's spectacular.
Yeah. I encourage anyone watching the program, if you're looking for a night out, if you're looking for good food, good cocktail, and a great ambiance, check out, is it 1779?
Yeah.
At the Clifton, the restaurant. It's open to the public. It's absolutely dynamite. Scott Aaronworth in Virginia Beach, you would absolutely love the Clifton in 1779. Let's go to the lead of the show. And Judah, we'll get you in the mix here, so let's have a discussion. Lexington, Virginia is the youngest jurisdiction, town, city, whatever you want to call it, in all of the United States. I was surprised by this. Lexington's median age is 22.2 years old. Radford is the youngest, the second youngest in the Commonwealth, 24.4. Lexington is the youngest town, city in all of America at 22.2 median age. Bradford has a median age of 24.4, Harrisonburg 25.7, Williamsburg 28.5, fourth youngest in the Commonwealth, Lynchburg 28.6, fifth youngest. I was surprised at Williamsburg because I grew up in Williamsburg, and Williamsburg is certainly known for its retired population. But if you look, Lexington, Radford, Harrisonburg, Williamsburg, and Lynchburg all have one thing in common. All 5 jurisdictions have a university or college in their town. And the interesting thing about Lexington, it's not large from a population standpoint. So when you have a college like WNL, Washington and Lee, or VMI in a town like Lexington where the population's not very deep or large, the youth of that college can really skew the median age of the population of the jurisdiction. Remember, the U.S. Census Bureau counts students as part of the citizenship of each jurisdiction. Lexington, 22.2 years, the median age, Judah, the youngest one in America. What do you make of that?
I mean, I think you're right. It's a small town with a with a college. You get an influx of students, and it skews the numbers. I wonder how that's affected their economy. I mean, think about the types of restaurants that are probably most popular there, not to mention other types of retail that, you know, the needs of students are definitely different than the needs of 50, 60, 70-year-olds.
As long as VMI and WNL are there, that economy is going to be strong. Lexington, Williamsburg, you can even throw Lynchburg in the mix, have a fantastic historical foundation. I mean, Williamsburg history in colonial Williamsburg is certainly woven into the fabric of that town. Again, Williamsburg is where I grew up. The oldest jurisdictions in the Commonwealth. Are you guys ready for this? Here are the Virginia localities with the 10 oldest median ages. All this data is from the U.S. Census Bureau. If you go to the website Cardinal News, you'll see a lot of Commonwealth journalism that I really enjoy reading. The 10 Virginia localities with the oldest median ages. Highland County, number 1, 59.3 years old. Northumberland County, 58.2, Lancaster County, 57.9, Middlesex, 55.4, Matthews, 54.3, Charles City, 52.7, Bath County, 52.6, Rappahannock, 52, Northampton County, 51.6, and there's one jurisdiction from Central Virginia who is ranked in the top 10, the oldest areas of living, Nelson County, 51.2, the median age. You'll see that this list is heavy with localities along the Chesapeake Bay, which A, are rural to start, and rural areas tend to be older, and B, they're becoming retirement havens, which makes them even more older. So Nelson County is quickly becoming a retirement haven. If you follow Jesse Rutherford, he's come on the show quite a bit, Board of Supervisors, Nelson County's student population is dropping. And remember, funding for public schools is tied to enrollment. So Nelson County, the 10th oldest jurisdiction from a median age standpoint in the Commonwealth of Virginia, with a median age of 51.2 years old. Did anything strike you of that list? The oldest, Judah?
No, nothing. I mean, I don't know enough about most of these places, Rappahannock, Northumberland, Lancaster. But yeah, I mean, obviously, once you start becoming a haven for retirees, then
That's what you got?
I don't know anything about these places.
You don't know anything about Nelson County?
Not much besides what I've heard from our.
Have you ever been in Nelson County?
I don't think so. Well, maybe I've been to some of the breweries.
Yeah.
But it's been quite a while.
I mean, Nelson County is the epicenter of craft beer.
Yeah.
I mean, Wintergreen is going to trend the median age older. Wintergreen very much turning into retirement haven or mecca, a second home mecca for many Americans, which is driving the age up. Nelson County's, again, I'll repeat, public school enrollment is dropping, which is, yeah, Tracy Lee Shiflett, I hope he's been to 151. Route 151 with the breweries. I'm sure he has been.
It's been a while.
You like beer.
I do. It's just been a while since I've been out there. I think the last time was when we were on a photo shoot.
At Wild Wolf?
Yeah.
That was years ago.
I know. I said it's been a while.
You and your buddies over the weekend should hop in the car, the Ford Fusion, and just beer hop. Brewery hop. It's fun.
Are you suggesting that I drink and drive?
Just get a designated driver, just like everybody else is doing. I mean, 151 is littered with people beer hopping from brewery to brewery. That's the number one driver of tax revenue, is 151 in Nelson County. James Watson's got comments. No, Richmond is not on the list. Richmond, Virginia is not on the oldest list or the youngest list. I thought Richmond would be on there. I really did think Richmond would be on there. I'll share this link in the comment section of my personal Facebook page for you guys to track this data. In fact, I'm going to put it in there literally as I'm speaking right now. I'm putting it in the comment section of my personal Facebook page for you guys to find it. It's from Cardinal News, a fantastic website. Tracy Lee Shiflett, Bill McKenzie, welcome to the program. Tracy loves Hazy Mountain. Hazy Mountain, I can tell you a little bit about Hazy Mountain. Hazy Mountain, Hazy Mountain was on Today Mañana, I believe. Today Mañana airs Thursdays on the I Love Seaville Network. It's a vineyard and brewery. Hazy Mountain is fresh to the scene, and as a venue that was fresh to the Central Virginia scene, one of the younger brands in Central Virginia, they started with a price point in the neighborhood of $4,000 from a venue standpoint, renting it out, have your wedding there, have an event there, about $4,000. That number, I've heard, has nearly 5x'd in less than a year. It shows you how incredibly popular Central Virginia is for weddings and the driver of this economy that weddings are, the second largest wedding destination on the East Coast behind Charleston. So that link from Cardinal News is in the comment section of my personal page. Danny O'Day, that is a hot take. You don't like Hazy Mountain? I would encourage you to give them a second try. I think they're fantastic. Tracy Lee Shiflett says they have beautiful views. I agree. Danny O'Day is going to join us on the show tomorrow. And one of the topics we're going to talk tomorrow, Neil Williamson, I'm going to get to that car report here in a matter of moments as well. James Watson, I'm going to tag you, he's the king of orbit, in a post, and then share the link, because I think you'll find this data fascinating. I'll share it on the I Love Seaville Facebook group for you, James Watson. I just did right there, so that's a tag for you. Lexington the youngest? When you think Lexington, Virginia, do you not think history and Civil War and monuments and VMI and Washington and Lee? I would never have thought that Lexington, Virginia was the youngest town, city, or jurisdiction in America. Would you? Would you have ever have guessed that? At 22.2 years, the median age? Would you have ever guessed that Radford's median age is 24.4? Would you have ever guessed that Harrisonburg's is 25.7? The one that shocked me the most was Williamsburg. 28.5 the median age.
You think that's because of all the people that work at the reenactment? And the people.
I mean, that's a good take.
Historic Williamsburg, you've got people that are, dressed up like
Busch Gardens. The folks that work at Busch Gardens are very youthful. Busch Gardens has a fantastic transplant or transfer program where they're taking a lot of youth from outside the country, giving them jobs at Busch Gardens and housing them. Water Country USA, another large employer. Water Country USA has a lot of youth on its roster, its employee roster. Judah Woodcower's right. If you go to Colonial Williamsburg, there's a lot of youth in Colonial Williamsburg. Also, a lot of the reenactors are up there in age as well. Williamsburg's median age surprised me. I mean, you get the impression in Virginia that the youthful area, Charlottesville, young and vibrant and innovative, a tech epicenter, home to the University of Virginia, home to Piedmont. Initially, you would think that Charlottesville would be one of the youngest jurisdictions in the Commonwealth of Virginia, but it's not. It's not. Now, I'm getting this question, what are the top 5 youngest in all of the country? Number 1 is Lexington with a median age of 22.2. Todd County in South Dakota has a median age of 23. I'm going to butcher this name. It's in Alaska. Cusselvac in Alaska, 23.7, the median age. Madison County, Idaho, 23.7. Radford, Virginia is the 5th youngest town in America at 24.4, the median age. Radford University. Would you have guessed that Lexington, Virginia and Radford, Virginia would be in the top 5 in all of this country from a youth and age standpoint? I would never have guessed that.
I don't think I'd have picked anywhere in Virginia.
If this sounds crazy, and maybe it's because I'm living in a fishbowl and need to broaden my horizons. If I was picking a locality in Virginia, I would have bet some money that Charlottesville was in that top 5.
Yeah, I mean,
Charlottesville's got UVA, it's got Piedmont.
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought Charlottesville would have been in the top 5. It's got the graduate school, law school, Darden School.
I was going to say, could the graduate school be skewing things away from youth?
I can't imagine that.
Like Lexington, how big is their graduate community?
I don't know that off the top of my head. But I know that, let's look at Lexington's population. Lexington, Virginia, we're going to do a quick Google search here. We're going to utilize Wikipedia. Lexington, Virginia's population at the 2020 census was 7,320 people. And that right there shows you how the number gets skewed so quickly and how Lexington is the youngest town from a median age standpoint in America. When your population is 7,320 people, the youth from VMI and Washington and Lee are going to skew that data. Let's see what the enrollment at WNL is. WNL is a private school, established in 1749. WNL's enrollment, see if you can find VMI's enrollment for me, Judah. I would go to a Wikipedia page for that. And you can look on the right-hand column of the Wikipedia page in the gray box. I found it for WNL. WNL's enrollment, students, in the fall of 2019, so this is pretty recent data, was 2,223 people. What's VMI's? Do you know VMI's yet? Let me know when you have VMI's.
VMI students are 1,685.
Okay, so you bust out your calculator and let's do some quick math. Okay? I'll bust out the calculator as well. So Lexington's total population is 7,320 people according to the 2020 US Census. 7,320. I'm going to subtract Washington and Lee student body, which in 2019 was 2,223 people. So 7,320 total population minus Washington and Lee student body of 2,223, 2,223. That leaves 5,097 people in Lexington not tied to WNL. How many at VMI?
1,685.
Minus 1,685. So I've subtracted the WNL student body and the VMI student body from Lexington's overall population. When you take out the student bodies of WNL and VMI, Lexington's population is 3,412 people. So it shows you that Lexington, which has a population, we just told you, a population of 7,320, half of Lexington's population is WNL students and VMI students. And I'll give you another statistic. Washington and Lee, its total students in the fall of 2019 were 2,223. Only 394 of those were graduate or postgraduate students. It's not a postgraduate or graduate school mecca, which is keeping the age down.
Definitely.
VMI, I would bet if you're looking at that gray bar on the right side, what does it say for postgraduates under undergraduates?
Let's see.
I can't imagine the postgraduate population at VMI is pretty high. I would bet it's less than the 394 at Washington and Lee.
I'm not even seeing anything for under or postgraduate.
Nothing on postgraduate? Nothing on that gray bar?
No.
Okay. I mean, you can't imagine it's that deep. The postgraduate population at Virginia Military Institute. So you have these two schools in Lexington that are driving the age down, and half the population of the town is freshmen, sophomores, juniors, or seniors in college. I find that fascinating. I love data and statistics like that. Do you not find that fascinating? Who would have guessed it would have been the most youthful? Lexington, Virginia. Who would have guessed Radford, Virginia is the 5th most youthful town in our country. Would you have ever guessed that? Let's get to comments. Neil Williamson, the king of content, the president of the Free Enterprise Forum, he's got a handful of comments. I love when Neil comments. Neil, I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. I hope we have a Neil and Sean appearance on Real Talk in the near future. I need my Neil fix. In the Midwest, Neil Williamson says, university towns tend to be larger cities. He's exactly right. He also says, from the Charlottesville-Albemarle Association of Realtors first quarter report, inventory is very limited in Nelson County. There were just 38 active listings on the market at the end of the first quarter. The number of active listings is down 38% compared to a year ago, which is 23 fewer listings. Supply is just 18% of what it was 2 years ago in Nelson County. What do we think the minimal supply in Nelson County can be attributed to? Rising rates?
Minimal supply.
Housing inventory in Nelson County.
Could be people that like the area and aren't willing to move.
Or is it that Nelson County very much a second home market? Wintergreen's a second home market?
Yeah.
Who's buying second homes when rates are flirting with 6%?
Yeah.
Inflation's out of control.
And who's selling houses when you have to find another one to move into? If it's your
The second home sale is a little different.
I know,
because you have a primary residence.
But if it's not your secondary, and it is your primary.
He's exactly right, Neil. Half the population, more than half the population of Lexington is students, which is, I didn't know that either. That's what I love about the show is we learn so much from you guys. Paul McCarter, the king of the South Side, Avidity's finest, Paul McCarter. Keep in mind that only a portion of Nelson County is in the CAR MLS. So Paul is responding on one Facebook page to Neil Williamson on a different Facebook page, and he's saying that keep in mind that only a portion of the Nelson County footprint is in the CAR MLS. Nelson County's, what MLS is the rest of Nelson County in, Paul? Out of curiosity, we're learning from you here. And I also, and help me on this as well, Paul, only a portion of Buckingham County is in the CAR MLS, right? So Buckingham and Nelson County are chopped up and are in a different MLS. Help me with that one, Paul McCarter, if you could as well. And he says this, second homes are now at the same rate as investment properties. Basically, he's saying the 30-year fix we're getting on a primary is not the rate we're getting for second homes or investment properties. That rate is higher. So that's why you could see inventory slowing, because that interest rate for a second home or an investment property is even higher than those that have good credit on a 30-year fix that are trying to buy a primary residence. Paul McCarter says Nelson, the remainder part of Nelson County is in Lynchburg. Thank you, Paul McCarter, on that. We appreciate you, King of Southside. DOD, Danny O'Day is going to join us tomorrow. He says, think Williamsburg City versus James City County. In Williamsburg City, half the population is students. It's a good point. In fact, I grew up in James City County. James City County, I grew up in a neighborhood called Kings Mill down Route 199 in James City County. And he's right, James City County is I hate to even call it a suburb of Williamsburg City, but it's in the county adjacent to the city of Williamsburg. And James City County trends much older. You have neighborhoods like Kings Mill, Forts Colony, and Governor's Land that are affluent neighborhoods that certainly would skew the age if they were in the city of Charlotte, if they were in the city of Williamsburg versus James City County. So he makes a very good point. And Paul McCarter says, yes, a lot of Buckingham County is in the Central Virginia MLS. Buckingham County, a portion of it is in the CAR footprint, but a large chunk of it is in the Central Virginia MLS. Now, I want to talk about the story or the topic of conversation that is, I heard from, Judah, I probably heard from, between yesterday's show and today, 11 different sets of parents through direct message, text message, email, or in-person conversation. And yesterday, we were the first to relay to you guys within the Central Virginia market what Hanover Public Schools are doing. And Hanover Public Schools will be the first division school system in the Commonwealth to build a school with no gendered bathrooms. Designers presented final renderings of the new John M. Gandy Elementary at a Hanover County School Board meeting last week. And those renderings at the new John M. Gandy Elementary School are going to include gender-neutral bathrooms. So the feedback I heard from these groups of families is like so much new stuff, split right down the middle.
Yeah.
Half were vehemently opposed, and half were open-minded and let's bring it on. I've done some reconnaissance on this. The bathroom stalls, I want to relay what the bathroom stall design is going to look like.
I've got a,
You got a pic?
yeah,
You do, of the rendering?
yeah.
You found it?
Mhm.
Oh, job well done. It was a little hard on you yesterday. I want to respond by showing your enterprising skill set. Thank you for doing that. Tracy Lee Shiflett says, get to 151, Judah.
I've been there. It's just been a long time.
She wants you to have fun. You might meet a special someone over there. You're single and you're ready to mingle, Judah. Do you have the rendering you can put on there?
I'm saving it now.
Okay, so give us the thumbs up when it's on screen. Does it show what the bathroom stalls look like?
It shows from the outside.
Okay, so this will be the first time seeing this as well. Please let me know when that's up so I can tell all the viewers and listeners to look at the screen when it's on there. So I want to talk about the bathroom stalls. Do you remember when you were a kid in elementary school? Put your hand in the air if you ever stood on the toilet and tried to look over to the stall next to you. Or you stood on the toilet and you got wet paper towels and you bombed people in the stalls next to you with the wet paper towels. Okay, I'm putting both my hands in the air. Did you do that, Judah? I was a very mischievous child. Mischievous is putting it lightly. I was a bad kid.
I believe it.
I did not follow the rules. I was very impulsive. The ADHD was a serious situation. I was a bad kid. I was constantly in trouble. Why I bring this up, you have it on screen? The gender-neutral bathrooms, it's important to emphasize. Tracy Lee Shiflett did that as well. She stood on the stall, on the john and would throw wet paper towels on the stalls next to you. The reason I'm bringing this up is you're not going to be able to do this at the Hanover Public School, the Hanover Elementary School. The walls of the stalls go to the ceiling. So it's a very private stall. You're not going to be able to stand on the toilet, look over the stall if you're a dude, and see a gal using the restroom. You're not going to be able to do that. So I want to emphasize that. The feedback I've heard from the parents that are vehemently opposed to this.
All right.
You got it? It's on screen. Enterprising Director Judah Wickower has found a rendering. I'm seeing this for the first time as you. Everyone, look at the screen, look at the screen, look at the screen. So keep this on the screen. The blue are the stalls, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so they're like private stalls.
Yeah.
You're not looking under, you're not looking over. They're right there.
And from what I read, they're not like stalls in a movie theater where you've got a good, probably a good centimeter sometimes gap between the door and the.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah.
Some of those stalls, don't you? Who hates this? When you go to a public restroom in a stall and you go to lock the door and the gap between the swinging door and the wall of the stall is like 1.5 inches and you're like, all right, people can just look straight in and see me doing my business.
Might as well just make them glass doors.
I might as well just open the door. Yeah. If the gap's 2 inches, I don't want anybody to do my business, see me doing my business. But when the gap is that large, you're going to see me doing my business. I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that. This is a topic that came up. And this is a little, I'm not trying to go down the immature potty humor, but this is literally a topic that came up with a mom and dad who listened to the podcast last night while working out at ACAC and then sent me direct messages. We get a lot of DMs from viewers and listeners. They said, Jerry, this was the dad talking. I'm not going to use his name. And I'm trying to choose my words correctly because I don't want to get into the potty humor. Okay, I'm trying to show some maturation here, some maturity. I think my wife and my mother would be proud of me. They're like, oh God, Jerry, here we go. Who has phobia of doing a number 2 in public with people around?
I'm assuming you mean in a public bathroom where people can be walking
In and out.
a few feet away from you.
Do you ever have pause or have some phobia or concern or like, oh my God, the bathroom's public, the bathroom's crowded, they're seeing me walk into the stall, what if there's some noises or some smells, I'm going to be embarrassed, I'm just going to wait till the bathroom clears out. Does anyone think like that? Does anyone think like that? Do you think like that? Tracy says, I only do it at home because of that exact reason. So the dad who's listening to our podcast yesterday shares part of the show with his wife, and they send me a DM after working out at ACAC. And he said when he was in elementary school, middle school, and high school, there's not a chance in HE double hockey sticks he would be caught doing a number 2 in a public setting when it was just a boys' bathroom. Let alone if his crush, some pretty gals, or the opposite sex was in the stall next to him. He said he'd have so much phobia he'd hold it to the house.
Yeah.
So that's feedback I got. Other feedback I got from parents was gender-neutral bathrooms is only going to potentially confuse elementary and middle school students who are struggling to find their personal identities and going through puberty where every day is an emotional roller coaster ride.
How is it supposed to confuse them?
I mean, I know it was a while ago. Remember when you were in elementary or middle school and puberty was running so intensely through your body that you had all these hormones and these emotions? And every day, parents can speak to this with their kids. And every day was like a different day with a preteen or a young teen. Because they just have so much going through their body, uncertainty, new stuff going through their body with puberty, hormones, and emotion. And the parents said, having to go through that and then going into gender-neutral bathrooms is only going to compound the matter. I've had some parents speak on the positive side of the gender-neutral bathrooms and say, look at the design of the bathroom. It's about as safe and as private a layout as you could possibly find. Put it back on screen.
That's what I was thinking when I first heard about it. I was like, look, they're not going to have, this isn't going to be like.
It's not going to be like a locker room.
Yeah.
It's not a locker room.
You're not going to be able to peek over the next stall. You're not going to be able to toilet paper bomb someone.
Yeah,
like
what I was
Jerry used
doing.
to do.
Yeah.
It looks safe, and as safe as any elementary school or junior high or high school bathroom ever is. There are always going to be bullies. They might not catch you in the stall.
Well, that's another topic that came up. Another topic that came up with the set of parents that listened to the show, as they said, the bullying in schools happens in bathrooms.
Yeah.
Because the teachers aren't there to supervise. How will this impact bullying of the opposite sex? Which I thought was a fair point, a point I had not considered.
I'm wondering how much bullying of the opposite sex actually goes on. This might make it less convenient for, say, girls to bully other girls.
I don't get why that would be the case. A bully's a bully and is going to bully no matter the location, no? Because you're saying the girls may not bully other gals if boy peers are around?
I don't know enough about today's youths. Maybe having more of a difference in sex. More people around. I don't know. It could lead some to maybe tone things down.
So Katie Pearl, I'm going to get to your comment here in a matter of moments. Katie, I think it's a good comment. The reason I bring this up to you, Hanover is, what did we decide yesterday, Wild Bill McKenzie? Hanover County from Charlottesville City, what was it? Was it just over an hour driving?
Yeah, I believe it was an hour and 8 minutes on the shortest route.
An hour and 8 minutes, Charlottesville City from Hanover County. Anyone that's watching and listening to this show knows the city of Charlottesville and Albemarle County are as progressive, open-minded, and liberal of jurisdictions as you'll likely find in the Commonwealth. So if a jurisdiction an hour away from Charlottesville is utilizing gender-neutral bathrooms in elementary school, it's just a matter of time to gender-neutral bathrooms come to Albemarle Public Schools and the city of Charlottesville Public Schools. We're all in agreement there, right? I mean, that's just common sense. Albemarle and Charlottesville, the public school systems, are as progressive, open-minded, maybe you call it liberal, whatever you want to call it, school systems as you'll find in the Commonwealth. An hour away is a school system that's doing this, and it's a copycat world. It is a copycat world, especially with education. So we can expect Albemarle County, City of Charlottesville taxpayers that this is going to be coming to our public school systems. My take, and why I relay this to you, I see this as potentially the next divisive topic for school systems in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Critical race theory was a divisive topic. Masking in schools was a divisive topic. Technology and learning off-site was a divisive topic for public schools during the pandemic. The next divisive topic is going to be this topic: gender-neutral bathrooms. You take a mom and a dad, and you want to see mom and dads become passionate, rabid, irrational, you mess with their kids. You introduce something new that their kids are going to experience. And you're going to see the good and the bad and the ugly of parents, speaking from personal experience. Okay. Bill McChesney it's about 65, 75 minutes away. All right, let's get to Katie's comment. Katie, you're a mother of 5, is that right, Katie Pearl? She's a Hall of Famer. I believe she's a mother of 5 now, is that right? KP? Let me know if it's cinco. I believe it is. She says this. Are you ready for this, Judah? Mm-hmm. Love Katie Pearl. I'd like to know if parents feel differently based on the gender of their child. I have 3 little girls, and I certainly am not a fan of this. I also have 2 boys as well that I'm not as concerned about, but most certainly do not appreciate this for my girls. I've heard that from a lot of parents.
I can definitely see
Paul McCarter made that comment yesterday on the show. He's got 2 girls. He's got 2 girls. You said you can see that? You have a take on that?
I mean, that definitely resonates with me. I could totally understand parents being a little less concerned about boys, in a unisex bathroom as opposed to girls. I think we're just naturally more protective of young women than young men.
As we should be. I don't have a problem with that, saying that.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. Vanessa Parkhill, the Queen of Earlysville, are these gender-neutral bathrooms you're referring to individual private use or bathrooms with stalls? Let's get the rendering back on screen for her. Gender-neutral bathrooms referring to individual private use or bathrooms with stalls. I would say they're public bathrooms that have stalls that are essentially closets that you can lock that have a toilet in them.
Yeah, it's basically both.
This is not I wouldn't say this is a stall. I would say this is a closet that you can lock that has a toilet in it.
Okay.
Right? You wouldn't describe this as a stall, would you? Because the stall gives the impression of being able to see over or under.
Right, it's not the typical stall, it's basically the same thing.
It's a floor-to-ceiling stall.
Yeah.
It's a very private stall.
Yeah, completely private stall.
How would you, Vanessa, I'm curious, I respect your opinion, Queen of Earlysville. How would you feel about this in elementary school with your kids? Just out of curiosity. Katie Pearl says this: as a woman, I feel friendships were formed while washing hands and fixing hair in the restroom when I was in school. I'm disappointed that female camaraderie in that space may not continue for future generations. Damn good comment. And responding to that comment right here, Katie, literally responding to your comment, damn good comment. Period, enter. That is well said. Well said. And that camaraderie, that forming of camaraderie, happens more with girls than boys.
Yeah.
We get in, we get out, we throw some wet paper towels at people,
Write some
nasty
bathroom
stuff on the
humor
stalls, on the door,
stalls.
and then we leave. We're not building friendships like the gals are doing. We're scratching some raunchy words into the wall of the stall, throwing a wet paper towel at somebody and piecing the hell out.
Bathroom tennis, look right. Bathroom tennis, look left.
Bob Yarborough calls it an OG water closet. Bob Yarborough is the king of Redfields. Maybe the mayor of Redfields, Bob Yarborough, watching the program. Anyway, I found that fascinating. We'll see how this penetrates Albemarle County and Charlottesville. Because I have a feeling this is the new phenomenon we're going to be seeing in public schools, guys. And I'm very curious to see how this phenomenon is going to influence or impact middle school or middle class, upper middle class, and wealthy parents with choosing private school versus public school. Because I think that's going to influence some parents. I had one dad yesterday, I'm not going to use his name. He listens to the show. I was telling him about this post-show, and he said, I heard it on your show. I'm vehemently opposed to this. If this is rolled out for my son or daughter, I'm going to take them out of public school and put them in private school. He straight up said that. His exact words. He's got a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old.
I wonder
And she's right. Katie Pearl says private schools will likely not adopt this. 100%.
Right.
100% agree with that. Private schools will not do this. Private schools will not do this. This will be a recruitment point of conversation for private schools. You wait and see. What were you going to say? I apologize for interrupting you.
Yeah, I mean, I was wondering whether or not he's seen the mock-up that they created. I think some parents may be less.
You should put the mock-up in the comment section. We could do it post-show. And send me that mock-up too. We'll put it on the Instagram. It's important for us to get that rendering out there because the rendering is very different than a traditional bathroom setting.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not pro or against this. I have not taken a stance in 2 days in favor of this or against it. I have not taken a stance on this. All I have done to you is relay information for you to decide. Gender-neutral bathrooms coming 1 hour from Charlottesville and Hanover County. Charlottesville and Albemarle County are progressive jurisdictions. They're already dealing with topics of transgender topics in schools. That's happening right now. I'm connecting the dots. If it's happening an hour from Charlottesville, the likelihood of it coming to Albemarle and Charlottesville public schools is high. And my prediction is this will be a point of friction for the community in Albemarle County and the city of Charlottesville. That's all I have said so far. And do you agree it'll be a point of friction?
Oh, yeah.
Right? You're already seeing it in the comment, you know?
We're going to hear a lot about this in the coming months.
Right. I would not even be surprised if this is something that comes up in statewide campaigns. I mean, hell, Youngkin ran on a platform tied to public schools.
Yeah. Oh, there's no
That was
doubt.
his whole campaign, was public schools.
There's no doubt that this will show up in campaigns.
Right. If critical race theory was so prevalent in the governor's race in November, how about gender-neutral stalls?
Yeah.
Right?
I think critical race theory is a little more explosive, but yeah, this is definitely going to get some people head up.
What do you think of this comment from Katie Pearl? She just put in the feed. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Am I crazy to think that public school parents should be entitled to send their kids to the bathroom with their same gender and not something that parents have to pay for with private school?
Normally I would say yeah, that's definitely something that you should expect, but as we know, times are changing.
Times are changing. Times are changing. Will the gender-neutral bathroom be slowly introduced to public schools with traditional bathrooms staying, the guy's bathroom and the girl's bathroom, and then a gender-neutral bathroom? Or will it just be the eradication of guys' bathrooms and girls' bathrooms, and when new schools are built, they're just gender-neutral?
I mean, I would like to think that the people who are, deciding on how to implement these would maybe take one bathroom, I don't know how schools have their bathrooms set up, but I would imagine they're usually, boys' door here, girls' door there, and maybe knock out the inside wall, turn one set of these bathrooms into gender-neutral bathrooms, leaving the other ones for the time being, and just, to get some information.
Yeah, get some data. Do this in phases. Dear Lord, roll this out in phases.
Don't just rip out all the bathrooms and put in gender-neutral bathrooms.
Do this in phases, please. He's exactly right.
Yeah. Sorry if you don't like it. Too bad. It's done.
Like Youngkin out of the gates as the governor. From day one, it's my way or the highway.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
Yeah.
Mandates from day one.
Mm-hmm.
Do this in phases. Vanessa Parkhill, elementary school, I don't think I would have supported this when my kids were in school. Maybe if there's a TA or adult monitoring the common space activity like there is in the lunchroom, it could be okay. Maybe. She said, definitely not a fan for middle school or high school students. I mean, I'm just talking out loud here. You take me as a sophomore in high school when I was 16, and the only thing I cared about was girls, and you go to a bathroom, and there's no teachers in it.
Well, not even that.
And girls are in there?
Not even that, but nobody's going to blink twice if a guy and a girl walk into the bathroom together.
A guy and a girl, sophomores in high school, would walk in the bathroom together, and before people would be like, dudes, you can't go in the bathroom together. What are you guys doing?
But now, what are you going to say?
Right. Now it's like, all right, Johnny, the quarterback, and Susie, the head cheerleader, just walk into the bathroom together. What are they doing?
I wonder.
It's human nature. It's human nature. Oh, man. Chris Jensen, hello. We love you, KJ. Chris Jensen, all around A-plus people. Bill McKenzie says this, Wild Bill is being Wild Bill right here. The biggest issue will be seat up or seat down and the aim of the little males. Perhaps the males will be required to sit down to pee. Bill McKenzie, Judah. And he also highlights smoking in the bathroom. Wasn't there a song about that?
Of course there was a song about
Do you know how it goes?
Yeah.
Can you sing us a few bars?
No.
Come on.
Hold
how
on.
does it go?
Let me get the lyrics.
No, how does it go? Just off the top of your head.
Smoking in the boys' room.
Smoking in the boys' room. Was that Motley Crue?
Yeah.
I think it was Motley Crue, right?
Yep.
Smoking in the boys' room. Get up, get ready, and giddy up, my friends. I mean, I didn't want to ask that question, Katie, but I've wondered the same. And I'll straight up ask the question that she put in the comment section. Are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
If a student gets raped in the bathroom, can the parent then sue the county or the school system?
Could they not do that anyways if in regular bathrooms?
Would they have more ammunition if the gender-neutral bathroom was boys and gals together versus just the boys' bathroom and just the gals' bathroom? I would think the parent in the lawsuit has more ammunition when it's a gender-neutral bathroom as opposed to bathrooms associated with the sex of the student.
Right. I think there's some, there's...
To be like, oh, the county put these people together unsupervised.
There's some expectation that...
That's a great question, Katie.
Yeah. I think there would be some expectation that if you had the boys' bathroom and the girls' bathroom, that somebody could have seen something and stopped sooner.
Yeah.
Whereas this way, like we were just saying, if two...
The star quarterback and the cheerleader going together in a gender-neutral bathroom, you don't...
Nobody's going to blink twice.
Exactly. Right. It's a great question, Katie. I was wondering the same. Very good question. Katie, you made the show better today. I love when you watch the show, Katie Pearl. All right, I want to highlight one other element that I find exciting, and it seems to be the democratization of the two-year degree in the Commonwealth of Virginia. In Giles County, Virginia, the price of college tuition is 100 hours of community service.
I think that's incredible.
It's incredible. New River Community College in Giles County. If you perform 100 hours of community service in a summer, you get free full tuition scholarship for a year. It's incredible. It's even better in Roanoke. In Roanoke, Virginia, at Virginia Western Community College, if a student does 4 hours of community service per semester, they get a full scholarship, their tuition covered to community college.
How can you beat that?
It's incredible.
Especially when you're looking at, looking at big colleges and the prices of them just going higher and higher and higher.
In the Roanoke Valley, the Community College Access Program, CCAP, is a public-private partnership that pays the cost of tuition for 3 years at Virginia Western. Founded in 2008 in partnership with Salem High School, the Community College Access Program expanded over the following 5 years to include Roanoke City and the counties of Franklin, Botetourt, Craig, and Roanoke. Half the tuition cost is funded by local governments, with the other half raised from private donors and foundations. In 2001 and 2022, local governments contributed $783,500, matched by 52 private sources, according to the Virginia Western Educational Foundation. This is beautiful. Through 2021, the Community College Access Program has helped 3,414 students who performed 25,189 hours of community service.
It's incredible.
Everyone wins.
And get this, the average annual in-state college tuition in Virginia is close to $16,000. Try making that over a summer.
Is close to what?
Close to $16,000.
Give us the stat again.
The average annual in-state college tuition in Virginia is close to $16,000.
That's just tuition.
This is for 2021. Yeah.
That must include the two-year schools, the community colleges. Because 16 seems light.
It does seem light, but still
a lot to make in a summer.
$16,000 over a summer.
And that's important to emphasize. That's just tuition.
Yeah.
That's not room and board or spending money.
Yeah.
That's just tuition.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're seeing is the democratization of education, the empowerment of empowering people despite economic means or status to pursue higher education. That's a good thing.
Yeah. And getting them to help out in the community at the same time is just icing on the cake.
And then the community gets talented people working for free.
Yeah.
Bob Yarborough, now this is what America should be. Thanks for sharing this info about community colleges. Random fact, my grandfather helped set up the junior college system in North Carolina. I did not know that, Bob Yarborough, king of Redfields. Help me understand this comment. I'll tread a little lightly here, but this is really a heterocentric discussion.
They're saying they'll tread lightly, but they're in saying that this is a
heterocentric discussion, the gender-neutral bathrooms.
They're probably right. I mean, we have.
What does that comment mean?
Well, we haven't even brought up the fact how this.
What does he mean by that?
He means that we're discussing this as hetero people. We haven't mentioned anything about transgender or any of I would imagine that this is a good thing for people with children who are wondering
about their sexuality.
Yeah.
How so?
Well, I mean, I don't know much about it, but imagine you're a young boy or a young girl who identifies as the opposite sex, and so you're more comfortable going into the other bathroom. I mean, this is part of the controversy that we've heard over the last few years.
Okay, that's a good point, what you're saying.
And so in this case, a young boy who identifies as a young girl is going to feel less constrained or less, if he's going into a bathroom that's for both genders, then there's less
Pressure, stress.
Yeah, less stress.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yarborough, good point. Judah, way to articulate Yarborough's comment right there. That's a good point. That's a fair point. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. So we should highlight that. We should absolutely highlight that. Do you think the private schools will do this? I don't think so.
I mean, they're definitely not going to rush to do it.
I don't think the religious-based private schools will do this.
Some might. Some definitely will never do it. I think some will be more open to it. I think it all depends.
Yeah.
Got varying degrees of, I don't know what a good word is, but some are more straight-laced, others are, I think, more open.
I mean, the Covenant School is not going to do this. Charlottesville Catholic's not going to do this.
I don't know.
Charlottesville Catholic and the Covenant School are probably your two most religious-centric private schools in the area. They're not going to do this.
But religious doesn't always correlate to. I mean, look at.
There's a correlation between religion and conservative views.
Some, but not always, and not always. Full on, like, we are never going to. I mean, look at the Catholic Church has made some striking changes in the last 5 to 10 years.
Oh,
plus
significant changes.
Yeah,
as it should have. Wouldn't you agree?
It depends on the change. But all I'm saying is that they have made some changes in how they how they act and react to certain things.
Bob Yarborough says, "Thank you, Judah. You said it better than he could have."
Thank you.
Tandem School is certainly Quaker, and I doubt they would do that either, Danny O'Day. Good reference to the Tandem School there. So I would say Tandem, Covenant, and Charlottesville Catholic are probably your three most religious private schools in the area. Good comment right there from DOD. Danny O'Day on tomorrow's show. I think it's going to be dynamite tomorrow's show. One of the things I want to talk about, Danny O'Day, was the comment you made about the animization of society and how we're turning into a culture of nothing more than renters.
Yeah.
How we watch our TV, clothes. I mean, look at all the stuff that's on a monthly subscription. Netflix, Prime.
Heated seats.
Yeah, BMW Europe. You want heated seats in your BMWs, your 2023 models? You're paying a fee for those now, a monthly fee to get heated seats for your BMWs in Europe, your new ones, if you want heated seats. It's a monthly fee you pay to BMW to get that amenity. People are getting clothes in the mail through subscription services.
That you send back a month later.
You send back a month later. Blue Apron, you're getting your dinner in the mail through a subscription service.
At least you don't have to send that back later.
I mean, I wouldn't want the leftovers from Blue Apron. So we'll talk about the atomization of the American society and culture and how the pros and cons of that with Danny O'Day tomorrow. Works for Politico, and he's also a published author. You did well today, Judah.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. I really appreciate you finding the rendering. I thought the rendering really added some...
yeah. It
told the story through the picture. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was very good. All right, that's the show. It's the Tuesday show. Anyone that's watching the program, listen, please. The Clifton, it's 10 minutes from the downtown mall. It is one of the best kept dining and cocktail secrets in Charlottesville and Central Virginia. Their restaurant, 1779, is open to the public. It is amazing. Date night, happy hour, bar food, cocktails, and soon a Thursday evening concert series that will launch in about a month with Coda and Marie, the front man and woman of Chamomile and Whiskey. It's going to be freaking awesome. The Clifton, 1779. Try it. For Judah Whitcower, my name is Jerry Miller, and this, the I Love Seville show on a Tuesday. So long, everybody. We have John Kerber in 7 minutes.